Around this time of year, a lot of people are doing their mid-year freak-out book tag videos, and I really wanted to hop on that trend. I love talking about books, and I hope that you love listening to me talk about books. If we're being honest, this year hasn't been the best reading year for me. I've just read a lot of books that I haven't like completely connected with and I felt kind of meh towards, which obviously isn't very ideal, but there are still some standouts that I really want to discuss and I'm excited to talk more about. The first one is best book you read in 2025. I'm trying really hard to just pick one book per question. The book that stands out amongst like every other book is Sunrise on the Reaping. It's completely just like overshadowed every other book I've read this year, and I've had 3 5-stars, but like Sunrise on the Reaping just like doesn't even compare because it's so far ahead. Sunrise on the Reaping has just been on my mind all the time. Like it never actually leaves my mind, and like social media is fueling that because not only are they making a movie and announcing the cast, and then I have to like text my friends being like, oh my gosh, did you see like the new person was cast? But there's also been just like so many crazy edits that are being sent my way, and like I appreciate it. I'm liking it, I'm saving it, I'm downloading them, I'm reposting them. Like these edits are so insane and so perfect, and people are so talented. Sunrise on the Reaping is the new Hunger Games book, and so you also have so much content from all of the movies so far that you can use for the edits. And we already know so much about so many of the characters that there's already footage of these characters from the other movies, but now bring them on in for these edits. The politics in the Hunger Games are so very insane, and how they can sometimes mirror, not even sometimes, how they mirror what's going on in the world today. I can't wait to be heartbroken in theaters. I will be sad. Front row. Not front row. Those are like the worst seat in theaters, but you know what I mean. Like, I will be sad. Preferably in like the middle. If someone gave me the opportunity to talk about that book all day, I would, but let's not do that. Let's move on. The next thing is the best sequel you've read so far this year, and I think that is Destroy the Day by Bridget Kemmerer. This is the 3rd book in the Defy the Night trilogy, and it's insane. It's so good. It's also very sad. There's so much that happens in this book and so much that the characters have to go through, and you get so connected to these characters. I mean, of course, it's a trilogy. You get attached to the characters so much in like the first 2 books. Then in this book, all the side characters come in and they're like, you should care about me too. You should care about me. This is why I have this amazing personality and I have this family and there's all these people that I love, and then you just love them. That's how it works. I think technically it's a YA fantasy, but there's like not really magic in it. A lot of it is more so dystopian. And Defy the Night, there's a lot of political turmoil, especially since they're going through a pandemic. The only way to like survive this pandemic is to drink like the Moonflower Elixir like every day, which it's hard to come by. Like, there's not a lot of Moonflower. It's very regulated. The poor cannot afford the Moonflower Elixir, and there's a little bit of a Robin Hood situation here. Tessa decides that she's going to make some Moonflower Elixir and give it to the poor, which in order to do that, she has to steal the Moonflower. So, like, she is Robin Hood, you know, like, whatever. But instead of giving them money, she's giving them life-saving elixirs. As rumors spread that the cure no longer works and sparks of rebellion begin to flare, a particularly cruel act from the King's Justice makes Tessa desperate enough to try the impossible, sneaking into the palace. But what she finds on the inside makes her wonder if it's possible to fix Kandala without destroying it first. There's also romance in here. It's really good, and I told my friend to read it, and she loved it. You know how good that feels when your friends actually read the books that you recommended them and they like it? Not even like it. They love them. They rate them 5 stars. So you like my recommendations? See, this is why you should take my recommendations and read that trilogy. Not enough people talk about it. Next is a new release you haven't read but you want to. I actually didn't have all that many options for this book, but I do have A Great Big Beautiful Life by Emily Henry. I'm not like an avid Emily Henry fan, but as I get older, like I like her books more and more. I feel like everybody's already read this, but I haven't. It's still new, okay? It's still new. It came out like what, 2 months ago maybe? If that. Come on. Well, it's the newest book I have on my shelf that I haven't read. I think a reason as to why I'm not like the biggest Emily Henry stan is because I read Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation when I was only 18. A lot of people say her books are very literary and not just like straight romance. Not to say they're not romance, they're obviously romance books. But I used to just think that like literary fiction was boring. And I think that her books just had too much of like life lessons in them that I did not care to read. I was just like, okay, like give me a juicy romance or fantasy that's like gonna get the juices flowing. I didn't really care about like character studies and stuff like that, and I'm more interested into that now, and I feel like I would like Great Big Beautiful Life maybe now. I should probably reread Beach Read because I bet I would like it so much more now than I did then. Because like I really liked Happy Place, and like all the books I want to read now are like far less blockbustery, if you will. Besides like Sunrise on the Reaping. The next one is most anticipated release for the second half of the year. Alchemy of Secrets by Stephanie Garber. I think Stephanie Garber can do no wrong. She seems like the sweetest human being on the planet. So I'm obviously very excited for her new release, and it's fairly different from anything she's done before that has been published anyway. I know she wrote before Caraval and Once Upon a Broken Heart, but like I don't think we can buy those books. I don't know too much about like the actual plot of what it's gonna be about, but I know a big part of it is like a folklore class. Folklore minor. I know quite a bit about folklore, so I'm like, she wrote this for me. I'm also very excited for Love Arranged by Lauren Asher. Next is biggest surprise. We're gonna have a good and we're gonna have a bad book. The book that I was surprised that I loved so much was The Princess Bride. I had a feeling I would like it. I didn't know I would love it. I didn't know that this would be a 5-star read. It was a lovely surprise. If you're familiar with the movie, it's just like the movie. I did this the last time I talked about this book as well, but it has fencing, fighting, torture, poison, true love, hate, revenge, giants, hunters, bad men, good men, beautifulest ladies, snakes, spiders, beasts of all natures and descriptions, pain, death, brave men, coward men, strongest men, chases, escapes, lies, truths, passions, and miracles. Everything you could possibly want in a book, it's there. The narrator actually kind of reminds me of like Ian Sterling from Love Island, like the voiceover guy. It truly was an unexpected joy. I love this book. Now, a book that surprised me in a more negative way. A book that I thought I would love, and then I read it and was like, oh wait. There's honestly so many options for this. I guess I'm a hater this year. I've been a hater in 2025, apparently. The one I went with is a book by a beloved author that a lot of people like, so maybe it's an unpopular opinion. I didn't like yours truly. Sorry. It's not that I didn't like it. I think I actually rated it kind of nice. But I loved, what are the other ones? Part of Your World and Just for the Summer. Fantastic books. They're in the same series. They share a lot of the same characters, and I couldn't get into it. I did get into it, and then like halfway through I was like, I can't stand what is going on right now. It's making me so mad. Just wasn't a fan. But I don't want to like harp on that too much. Like, don't be that negative there, and let's move on to something more positive, like favorite author debut or new to you. I just finished a new book by an author I'd never read before, and that is The Favorites by Lane Fargo. Yeah, she's a favorite. I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed the writing. I really enjoyed the characters. It's like Daisy Jones and the Six and Wuthering Heights, according to the back. Stealing that from the back. It's like Daisy Jones and the Six and Wuthering Heights, but like mixing like figure skating and ice dancing to it. You read about very difficult people growing up and going through like such harsh realities, such intense life struggles within their sport, and like it's addicting. It's actually so addicting, and I read it so quick. I was invested. I was really invested in these characters and their stories, and they're not likable at all, but I couldn't stop. Lane Fargo is very talented, and don't be shocked if I pick up more of her books. Next up, newest fictional crush. Let me tell you. I'm actually in the middle of this book. I haven't spoiled it, and if this character does like something absolutely terrible and like you're like, oh, I hate that character, maybe I haven't gotten to that yet, okay? That is Jess from Heartless. Oh, he is so similar to Jax from Once Upon a Broken Heart, and you cannot change my mind about that. I've only read this much of the book, and I'm obsessed with him. Obsessed with him. You know, it's like, I'm so obsessed with your ex. No, I'm so obsessed with the Jess. I can't say if this is like a fantastic book or not, because there is so much space for me to hate it, but from this, I like the beginning. I like it so far. I like the characters, specifically him. I feel like I haven't had a lot of like fictional crushes this year. Like, I definitely have in the past, but this year not really. I've been reading too much lit fic, that's what it is. I haven't been reading like enough like romance books to like really be like, oh, he's so dreamy. But I've been liking lit fic. That's just a sign that I'm getting older. Next up is a book that made you cry. This is kind of annoying, but I'm just gonna pick the book that made me cry the most, and that was Sunrise on the Reaping, so I guess we'll move on. Next up is book that made you happy. Now, the book that made me the happiest was Princess Bride, and we've also already talked about that. But seriously, I think I read The Princess Bride with a smile on my face the whole time. Next is the most beautiful book you've bought this year or received. I was gonna say Nightweaver by R.M. Gray, because first, I mean, look at those edges. Then behind the dust jacket, is like a ship, and I thought that looked really pretty, and I think the back looks really pretty, and then the end papers, that looks really pretty. Then this one is a map. Like, this book is actually stunning, and this is just like a regular edition. But then I remember I thrifted special edition books. By the way, I haven't read this yet, so I don't know if the book itself is any good, but it's a stunning book. I mean, look at that. And then, what's it say? I will not let them take me. I found these 2 books at Half Price Books. I had already finished and loved this series at that point, and then I walk in, and I see these on display, and you know what? Usually the books on display are more expensive. They weren't. $25 for these Fairy Loot exclusive editions of books that I love. I got this one off Pango Books. So, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Okay, this is books, plural, and not book. So, I have quite the list. Genuinely, there are so many books that I'm like, you need to get through by the end of this year, and here are a few. The Courting of Bristol Keats. This is a beautiful, 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 stunning book, but I bought it last year, so I couldn't like include it for like the most beautiful book I bought this year. It's by the same author of Dance of Thieves, and the sequel to this book comes out in like November, so I'm like, you gotta read it before then. I obviously haven't read it, but I remember like hearing about the synopsis and thinking that seems really good, but I don't feel like rereading it now and trying to describe to you what it's about without having actually read it. But this is definitely high up there on my TBR. I haven't picked it up yet because it's long. Other books I want to read, Everything I Know About Love by Dolly Alderton. I started this book and read like 20 pages and then was like, I'm gonna read a chapter a day. Did not do that. Did not do that at all. I gave up on that so quickly, and I'd like to get back into that because everyone that's read this book is like, you need to read it, and you're 20s and I'm 21, and I told myself I was going to read it at 20 and I didn't. These next 2 books are controversial, not because of what's in the books necessarily, but because of the author. But I already spent the money on the books, and I did so years ago. Like, it's not like I just got these books. I've had them for years. And I put the books off at first because they were just like really intimidating because they're very long. I should just say what the books are. It's Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. These books are so intimidating, not only because of their length, but because you read them at the same time. You tandem read them. Tandem reading a 689-page book and a 660-page book, that actually seems like a nightmare. Why is it that serious? Like, I really would like to get them done. I just want to get them done. My friends have all read them, and they know what happens in here, and then they talk about it. They don't spoil it, of course, but I want to be included in those conversations, too. Ideally, I finished the whole Throne of Glass series, but baby steps. Gotta finish this first. And then work on the 980-page final book. I also want to read more classics. I want to read Jane Eyre by Charlotte Bronte, and I want to read Wuthering Heights by Emily Bronte, the Bronte sisters. I kid you not, though. I was about to read this book, like, excited to read this book, and then someone commented, oh my gosh, like, you should totally read it. It's so good, and there's, like, ghosts in it, and that's so fun. Guys, I'm scared of ghosts. I almost always go into books without knowing what they're about. And I was going to pick this up, and then people were like, oh yeah, it's so good, and like, I love the ghost element. What do you mean there's a ghost element? Now these next questions, I think Sarah Caroli just added. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But then she has like, how many 5-star reads? I've had 3. That's Sunrise on the Reaping, The Princess Bride, and Beartown by Frederick Bachman. Very good book, very sad book. Check trigger warnings. Then it's books you want to reread. I really want to reread Once Upon a Broken Heart. My friend is reading it for the very first time right now, and I'm so jealous. These were so fun to read, and I want to do it again. I reread Daisy Jones and the Six like every year. Probably gonna reread that. I don't know that I have any other books that I'm like dying to reread right now. I loved the Addicted series so much, and I'm scared that if I reread that, I won't like them as much. So I'm not gonna do that. I can see myself rereading Defy the Night. But I don't do a lot of rereading. Maybe like every year I'll just like pick a new series to reread or something like that. There's also 5-star predictions, but I've already read all my 5-star predictions for the year. I don't think I have like any more. I'm hoping there will be more 5-star reads, but I don't know that there will be because I don't really have 5-star predictions on my shelves right now. Even the books that I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna read this soon, I'm not sure what I'm gonna rate them. I haven't rated any of the books in the Throne of Glass series 5 stars. And I feel like most people have by the time they get to the tandem read. I'm on book 6 of the series and I haven't rated a single one 5 stars yet, so I don't really foresee it happening. Anyway, there's supposed to be a new reading vlog posted today, but I failed the challenge I was doing. So I didn't just fail a little bit, I failed hard. So maybe you'll see that soon, but I need to do something to like redeem myself first. Anyway, I hope you like this video. If you would like, comment, subscribe, I would very much appreciate it. I will see you at some point or another. Bye!